We're out. And for once, we got everything we came for. Even Carver, having his vision, horrifying as it must have been, was helpful in this case. Mahler, Pagodin, and Kramer are indeed the people we're looking for, and now we know that they'll all be gathered tomorrow evening. But do they know we're coming? When Mahler and I spoke on the radio, I was pretty sure he didn't suspect it was me that he was talking to. But he said he was on his way to the SA. And as we get out, we overhear the police mentioning an anonymous call with a Russian accent. Were they trying to set us up? The calendars, the hastily closed compartment with a key to their archives. This meeting at Pagodin's mansion could well be a trap. But we can't ignore it, if it's a chance they'll all be there. Maybe we'll even stumble upon their murderous colleague, now known as Leonhard Freude from the Germanische Gemeinschaft. We've got this far, even with me having a little bird breathing down my neck. I'm not gonna leave anything to chance now. This is Red Moon Roleplaying.
You make it back to the car, leaving the police and the Slavic Association behind you. It's in the middle of the night. What do you do?
I get back to the car and I open the door and just look at Carver. Well, that was pretty successful, wasn't it?
I nod a little dumbly. I'm still not really with it. Yeah, I guess. I think we need to sleep. I need sleep. Maybe.
I'm feeling like there is a tiredness looming just around the corner, but just pulling this off so nicely just kind of makes me feel a little bit of adrenaline, a little bit of a rush. Okay, sure. Maybe we should just get some sleep in the car. Let's just get out of the town center so we don't have people knocking the windows.
Agreed, and then we need to start planning because I think our timeline is running very quick, if you get my meaning.
Yeah. We made some good finds. So we've got a suspicious phone number with F on, which is probably Philip's. We got Sasha and Anton meeting tomorrow evening out at Sasha's place. So we should probably check that place out, perhaps in the morning. Decide what we want to do and then get back for the evening.
Or else it might be wise to check in with the doctor. We might need some things from him.
Yeah, he might have something new for us as well.
You find a somewhat secluded, safe spot to park the car for the night and to perhaps get some sleep, although you haven't been particularly successful in this area the last few nights. The adrenaline has now disappeared or decreased, and you're starting to feel that tiredness, that weariness come over you. Jenkins is in the car with you, sound asleep. You both wish that you could sleep as soundly as he does. But you do fall asleep. You find yourself dreaming, walking through infinite streets and suburbs with looming buildings. Dark shadows move behind the windows of every house. You look behind you and the road is devoured by a vast darkness, forcing you to move ever forward. The buildings thin out until you find yourselves on a forest road which leads up to a solitary house. You instinctively know that this home belongs to Sasha Pagodin. You feel yourselves hover toward the estate, floating through its high walls. Guard dogs dance around you, but they cannot reach you, their jaws slamming in the air as they try. But they fail to bite you. You approach the house, gliding through the walls. Then suddenly an abyss opens beneath you and you fall and fall. After a terrifying plunge, you land in Sasha Pagodin's lounge, in the anteroom to his temple. The temple door hangs open, the 3 Russians standing inside. They do not notice you entering. Philip Kramer is the one to speak. They may have stumbled across my book on dream magic. If so, they'll try to break the curse. I think Magda suspected what could break it too. You realize that you are holding the book, the power of dreams, in your hands, the book that Philip has written. The book opens by itself, turning until landing on the page with the ritual that you have read. Instinctively, you start performing the ritual, first making a circle around the entire estate, then the house, and finally around the 3 Russians. As the ritual progresses, you notice how the marks gradually disappear from your bodies. When the ritual is complete, the 3 Russians roar in anger. Everything fades. You awaken. For the first time in a long while, you feel somewhat refreshed. The dream is still clear and vivid in your heads, in a way that normal dreams are not.
Did you just... Were you there? Were you where I was?
Think so. I saw the 3 of them. I saw us conducting the ritual successfully. Why would I see that, though? What does that mean?
I make a big yawn and I stretch as much as I can in this small car. I don't know, but it felt good. It felt like it felt like someone pointing the way for me, telling me that this was what I should do. And I roll up my sleeve and I look at the marks on my arm.
The marks are still there. A reminder that what you saw in the dream has yet to pass.
I gotta get rid of this. We gotta get rid of this.
I know. But perhaps tonight. Fuck, though. There's so much that could go wrong. If we don't succeed, I'm not gonna lie, I think it's either we pull this off, or we're dead by tonight.
Well, this is our chance. We might not get a second one. Not at the rate this is progressing, anyway. Okay. Look, Carver. We're gonna pay these bastards back, and we're gonna do it bit by bit, and we're gonna do it the hard way. Do you know where we could get all the things we need for the ritual?
Nearly everything I'm pretty sure I can pick up from the store I went to last time.
You're able to get everything that you read about in The Power of Dreams, except for one particular item in there. It specifies blood of someone not touched by the curse. This is, of course, well, selling human blood is not something that, well, just anyone can do. So Mantra would likely not have that.
Dr. Richter.
Yes. We pay him a visit. After I've picked up the goods, maybe we should do that first, it's the easiest thing. Get the blood from him somehow. You might need to pull some money strings there. And then I guess we're going to have to stake this place out. Maybe get some more guns. I don't know that part. How many times have you raided a potential stronghouse?
Well, We should actually start by looking at this place before the day progresses and things get too alert, I think. What time is it? I look at my watch.
It is around 6:30.
Well, depending on how things look there, we might find out that we need some specific items, if you know what I mean. So I think we should do the stakeout first and then stock up on everything we could possibly need.
Yes.
I start the car, and you got the map book there on the right. Can you please just navigate for me?
Yes, sure. And I take out the map book and just start giving him the directions we've been given.
Yes, you have the address to Sasha Pagodan's estate. It's 20 kilometers southeast of Berlin, in a idyllic area with a lot of forests and lakes. It's a very beautiful area where some fairly rich people live. And you start heading there. A winding road cuts through kilometers before you reach the house. And you pass through this area with these idyllic lakes, forested mountains, and an open grazing land. A gate blocks the only entrance from the road, and beside the gate stands a guard booth manned by a man looking much like Secret Service agents. Suit, sunglasses, earpiece, the whole thing. The estate is surrounded by a 4-meter tall wall that you recognize from the dream. What do you do?
Probably don't want to get noticed, so... Ooh, and if what the dream is true, he's got guard dogs as well. We might need to keep a bit of distance as we move around this place.
Yes, I'll start looking, really focusing on the area, trying to see.
Yes, you can observe the situation. You immediately see that there is an area pretty close to the estate, a hill that would give you a better vantage point from where to look from. The walls are so high, 4 meters, that basically you can't see anything from the road. But if you were to make it up onto that hill and you have something to help you see from a distance, perhaps binoculars, then you should be able to see quite a bit.
Bjorn, you had some binoculars, didn't you? I swear in your little kit that you've been gathering, that you've gathered something like that at this point now.
Of course I do. And I reach back towards the back seat, and from one of the pockets on the back of my seats, I pull out a pair of binoculars.
I almost got a little portable base here. Makes me miss my own car, now I think about it. Still back home.
I'm sure we could change to that car to your Trabant, if you prefer that one.
Don't think we have time to drive all the way back to my old flat to pick up my rubbish car.
Fine. I turn around to make our way towards the hill.
I follow.
There's an area by the side of the road that you can drive in, and you can park the car. It's a fairly good distance from the estate itself, so that they won't be able to spot you stopping there. It's a little bit of a hike to get up the hill, but it's not bad. It just takes 10 minutes or so. As you get to the top of this hill, you're able to look down at the estate. First of all, what you then need to do is to roll for observing the situation.
I got 15. No longer a -1 because we've rested finally.
I got 14. Yeah.
What you can see is that the top of the wall has razor wire, and you can also see what looks to be broken glass on top of the wall. It looks pretty nasty to try to climb over that, but as long as one knows what to expect, it might still be possible. There are signs on the wall that state that an alarm system is active, and from what you can see from the various electronics that are installed on the wall, the signs do seem to be telling the truth. You see small teams of people with dogs patrol the area beyond the wall. 2 men for every 1 dog. There's a total of 16 guards out in the estate area. You can notice from inside of the building that is in the middle of the walled off area, you notice that there are what looks to be guards walking around in there as well. You can only really make out silhouettes and sort of see their suits. The guards look to be armed. From what you can see, it looks to be light pistols and Uzis. The same kind of VP-70 pistols that the agents, or whatever they were, guarding Anton Mahler's apartment were packing. So using the binoculars, you can see that the house is a one-story mansion built in the Germanic style with log walls and rustic trim. There's a huge turnabout in front of the house, as well as manicured gardens. In the backyard, there's a sprawling lawn and a swimming pool. Hidden behind a copse of trees, there's a helicopter hangar with a small Hughes helicopter.
Oh my god. How the fuck are we gonna do this? We've got guards, we've got walls, we've got a break-in. I've got to draw freaking circles around most of this building anyway. And then we've got to get in. I don't... Oh god.
Björn, you notice that there are patterns to how the guards patrol. These guys, they look professional, but not that professional. It's likely that the pattern will not change during the night. During your time here, you also see a false alarm happen at the wall. The guards rush for it, but they seem to be used to the idea that the alarm isn't fully trustworthy. This may be something that could play in your favor.
And they rush for it, but they don't think it's real. I start talking a bit to myself. We've got about 8 teams of 2 persons. We've got dogs. Alright, should be able to make it over the wall there. And yeah, if we just follow their patterns, it shouldn't be a problem circling around the place.
Which we're gonna need to do at least twice. I imagine... look. So the first circle will need to be around the wall. The second one, more directly around the house. That should then place us where... I pause. Where the dream told me the temple was.
Good.
That's assuming the dream was actually telling us the truth and not just a random dream we had.
I don't believe in random dreams anymore, Carver. Let's see. Yes, first circle outside the wall shouldn't be a problem. Inner, well, as long as we follow the pattern. Oh, we might even be able to use the alarm to an advantage, just to clear certain points in case we needed to get in. Because they would rush off, clear some space for us, but they wouldn't be alarmed, so that's not bad.
Well, I think on this one I'll leave all this tactical advice to you. I'll do as you tell me, as long as you cover me.
Of course.
Another thing that may play in your favor, Björn, is the guards are dressed in a very, well, clear way. From a distance, it's very difficult to tell them apart, especially in the darkness. Should you be wearing the same outfits, well...
These outfits, are they something that you could acquire yourself, we think? Something similar to them?
Yeah, it's basically just a suit.
So it's only the dogs that would tell the difference, and not sure they are that well trained either because of the budget scheming level of these things. Right, it's probably the same security company that guarded the apartments, and that was hardly a problem, was it? You took care of things there, didn't you?
I frown at this a little for a moment, because my memory of that day is still rather painful for me. But I just kind of nod and go, I suppose I did.
Yes, you did. Alright, so I'm starting to take some notes. Let's see, we're gonna need a nice carpet. We're gonna need a ladder. We're gonna need...
Why a carpet?
Well, what would you prefer? Something cozy to step over the pieces of glass on? It's gonna need to be thick. Yeah, aside from that, just basic break and entry tools should do the trick. Anything else you want to look at before we leave?
I think that's enough. This costume idea of yours, I suppose if you do the lead on it, you do seem quite skilled at pretending to be someone you're not. I laugh at this a little.
Well, how is your helicopter driving skills should we need to get out of there?
Rusty. Almost non-existent.
Almost non-existent. Well. That's better than nothing, isn't it? Okay, let's get back to the car.
You make it back to the car. Where do you head next?
I'm thinking it's time to visit the doctor.
Let's make our way to Dr. Richter. I look around and start driving out.
You make it back through the same winding roads that you took to get here. You make it back into Berlin, and you get to the Charlottenburg area and the Max Bürger Hospital, where Dr. Richter told you to come and meet with him.
As we park outside, I just stop for a moment. I gotta ask, what's your association with Russia? Do you have family in Russia, or do you?
I don't have any connection with Russia at all, other than I suppose I visited there a few years ago. Possibly sold something to someone. I know a bit of Russian, but it was quite a small visit. Otherwise, knowing Magda through book business, I don't have any connection with Russia, really.
No origin or anything? No? Oh, that's just asking, just because the doctor told us about the immunodeficiency and all that. I was just couldn't help but ask. Well, okay, let's go in and see what he's got for us.
Yes.
You move through the long corridors with the colored lines. You are able to avoid getting lost, and you get to the morgue area where Dr. Richter welcomes you and leads you to the lunchroom that you visited before, the one with the poster of David Hasselhoff in it. Welcome back. Glad you took the time. I actually have a few things to tell you about Magda. Done a little bit of research. Before that though, how are you feeling? How's the,
The symptoms are getting worse, although we seem to have had at least one night's relief. I don't know how long that will last, though.
Would you be okay if I have a look at one of the markings, just to see?
I show him my wrist.
He studies it with a lot of curiosity and in detail. Okay, very good. He makes some notes.
Did you see something there?
Well, it's interesting to see how quickly it's progressing. It's faster than the cases in the books that we went through earlier in the prior cases. So it's going to be interesting to see if this pace keeps up. I hope you will be able to come back here later on as well to allow us to continue studying this. It will be very good for future people who afflicted by this.
Doctor, how I pick up a Danish from the lunch table.
Yeah, there are Danishes there.
Nice. Doctor, are you just interested in the physiological progress of this, or are you actually into these sorts of rituals and the things around it as well?
I am interested in all aspects of this. As you have likely noticed, I do believe that there is a little bit more to this world than what we see in front of us. If this helps to answer some of the questions that I have about things like black magic, then that would be very, very interesting, at least to myself. Possibly we could even tell the rest of the world about it, although I wonder if they would believe us. Anyway, I have Magnus' medical records, and he hands over a binder of about 40 pages. It's covering 1947 to 1990. Prior to 1951, the documents are all written in Russian, and then in German after that. Until 1958, she's never referred to by her last name. Between 1958 and 63, she is listed as Magda Schmidt. and from 64 and onwards, her last name is recorded as Orlova. The documents are all notarized with doctor's signatures. Up to 1958, all the signatures are by someone named N. Tatlina. Over the subsequent years, more than 20 different names are listed. Looking at the medical records, you see that she has spent time at 3 different clinics. The Kirov Clinic, wherever that is. The Frankfurt Clinic, that must be the one in Frankfurt under order. And then the Johannes Hospital in East Berlin.
Interesting. She had almost a lifetime of visits here.
I bet she had a troubled youth.
I had a look at her next of kin also. There's a Philip Kramer that was listed there. I've tried to reach him, but I haven't been able to get a hold of him. I had a hunch, and I checked his records as well. Puts another binder on the table. Seems as if they've spent a lot of time together. He was also checked in at all 3 clinics.
You don't say.
I'm curious about this with her last name. Why did he... Is her name Schmidt?
One theory is that because there's no last name recorded, it might be that her parents were not known. Just a first name like that, that's very, very rare that it's recorded in that way. Perhaps she was an orphan. And there was a lot of refugee, children, of course, during the war years and in the years following. Perhaps she took the name Schmidt, and then after that, she did marry. I saw that she was married to someone named Lev Orlov, who passed away, and then she became Magda Orlova. Looking at Philip's background, I could see something very similar there as well. They must have come up together. They must have basically spent most of their lives together.
That is noteworthy. I mean, if their relationship must have taken a real turn for the worse if Philip was one of the ones that put a curse on her.
Have you got a phone I could borrow, Doctor?
Certainly.
I phone up Lucas, my police contact. I'm curious about that number we got for Philippe.
This is Lucas.
Lucas, it's Carver.
How are you doing?
I've been better. Listen, I know you've kind of already paid me the favour, but could you just do one simple little number trace for me, please? I just need to trace this number. Maybe see if you can give me an address. Is that possible?
Sure, no problem. Will be done very, very quickly. What is the number I should trace?
I give him the number we found.
All right, I'll do a quick check. And he comes back. Oh, this is Lucas again. So I did find the number. It's a bit weird. It's connected to an old abandoned apartment building. There seems to only be one active apartment here. I know of this place. It's this place where squatters, junkies, and artists hang out. It's Dukenstrasse 43 in the East German part of town. This old Soviet-style building that's... I think they're going to tear it down in the future, but, until then, it's been taken over by people who have no place else to go. I hope you're careful. Pretty rough area.
Sure. Thanks, just something to think about.
No problem. And he hangs up. So you have an address, Dukenstrasse 43.
Oh, Doctor. Now this might be a little unorthodox, I know, but you couldn't just have, possibly, you haven't got any healthy blood on you, do you?
What? Blood?
This is the reason I asked before what your interest in these rituals of sorts. You see, we have been infected by this curse, as you know, and part of getting rid of the curse is using blood that is not infected.
I see. Yes, there is precedent for that. The power of blood is quite something. Is there any particular blood you're looking for?
Any healthy blood would do. Of a donor, young donor perhaps. Obviously not an active donor, I mean something you've got in the freezer or something for a transfusion. We'd be paying money, of course.
No, don't worry. If you will do me the favor of coming here and letting me follow the progress of the disease, that is more than enough to pay for this. I'll make sure that a few bags discreetly disappear. I don't think anyone's going to miss it.
Good. Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly what kind of blood we would need, but I think you're about the only one that I could possibly think of that would know how to check them for infection, if you know what I mean.
I will arrange this for you. Is there anything else I can do to help you?
I go over the notes once again. Not really. Is this a copy for us, or did you prefer to keep this?
Mrs. Orlova has passed away, so her file isn't exactly going to be looked for by anyone, I believe. You can bring that with you if you would like. Files are misplaced all the time, and should Philip Kramer's also disappear, there's certainly no issue.
Good.
You can compare the dates there if you would like. As I said, they have spent time at the same clinics, although I believe that the time periods have been not always exactly the same, but more or less.
Yeah, that is exactly what I want to look at. Yeah.
So, you have those files.
Yeah, we've got a couple of things that we need to sort out now. Carver, you're coming with me?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So we got some things that we need just for the basic infiltration, and you gotta stock up on some things here at Mantra. So, would you like me to drive you there first?
Let's do that. Also, I may have a little trace on a possible Philip Kramer address, but I don't know if at this stage it's worth going for it or not. What do you think?
There is a risk to it that he will, if we run into him, that he'll be alerted and somehow call off the meeting tonight. And we will need all of them there, just to perform the ritual. But we don't know that he is going to be there for sure either. What do you think? What do you think, Carver?
I think we can't take the risk. Not now. We've got to put everything into making this work. There's too many potentials that could happen if we go to this little address. I mean, maybe we can check out after if we're still alive.
Yeah, well, okay, let's not go there now. Like you said, maybe we could show up there later in case we need something else. Information or whatever. But my main supplier is in Hamburg, so let's get everything done that we need from here before we leave.
You leave the hospital behind. Carver, you look up into the rearview mirror, and your sixth sense makes itself known. Let's roll and see if you have any edges.
17, so 3.
You arrive at Mantra, at the bookstore. You are looking to get what here?
Soot, black sand, we have the blood, and some of the bowls and goblets we'll require as well.
These are very easy to get a hold of. And unless you want to ask Erica any questions, you can simply go ahead and get this transaction done.
My chat with her will be very brief. I'll say, I just require some things for a ritual. It's probably best if you don't ask what the ritual is.
She stares at you. She just nods. Come back alive.
I pause for a moment. Has, in the last day or so, anyone come by suspicious other than myself?
Carver, everyone who shows up at this store is pretty suspicious.
I suppose that's true, isn't it?
I look around in the store. This is the first time I'm here because I let him go in alone this time. But I'm starting to feel that my obsession over this curse and everything surrounding it is growing, and I need to see more of these things. And, well, this fascinating, non-blinking lady. I'm not sure if I should be intrigued or if I should...
I notice Bjorn looking about with that hunger, that curiosity in his eyes. I just step over and go, seriously, you're better off not knowing. Trust me.
Black sand? What is that? I mean, is it just...
I look down and go, it's probably some tropical sand from somewhere. Yeah, volcanic. Lanzarote, for example, has lots of black sand. Quite easy to find there, actually. That's what it will be.
And what would happen if we did this ritual in dark grey sand instead?
I don't know. That's the fun with rituals. You never really have any idea what you're doing.
Well, I'm glad I'm not alone in this. Yeah.
Come, let's go.
Sure.
And you leave the bookstore mantra behind. Where do you head next?
Well, unless we've got anything else we need sorted here in Berlin, I think it's time to head back to Hamburg. And I feel a bit good. I like planning for things. I like planning strategy and tactics and putting a plan into place. Somehow puts me a little in another place, focusing on something instead of thinking about all the weird things that's been happening that's not even associated with this, the owl and all that. But, well, I am a bit cautious. I look around.
You look in the places you should look. Everything is as it should be, but you have this nagging feeling that he is somewhere. Well, you can't see anything here, at least.
Right. So, we're going to Hamburg. Anything you want to visit, Carver, while I get my business sorted, or would you rather come with?
What are we going to Hamburg for again?
Just some supplies. Just some items of interest for this kind of operation.
I suppose it's best we keep together. I'll come. My mood is perhaps a little better now I've had some sleep, but I'm still, ever since last night, I'm not in a good place. I'm nervous about what's going to happen next. I'm unhappy about what's happened already. I'm trying to focus on the immediate future, which potentially I've not got much left. I feel oddly calm about that, but at the same time, I can't just help but feel at the back of my head that I could be dead tomorrow. But I'm trying to ignore that as best I can.
One thought reaches you, and that is, you have a very nice library of occult books. You have some that you got via Dr. Richter, some that you found in Magda's apartment, but there is more in your apartment. Now that you're starting to have more of a feeling of what kind of information you might need, perhaps a stop by your apartment to find the most relevant books might be useful.
I suppose. That could be a little side stop, yes. Yes, if you don't mind, I'll be stopping by my place just to pick up a few more things. Final preparations.
Sure. Let's, you know what, let's do that first. And as we drive towards it, I'm gonna be extra wary of someone possibly surveying the place.
You arrive at Carver's apartment, and you look around, being extra wary. But it doesn't seem as if there's anything out of the ordinary. No strange cars or vans waiting, or people at bus stops sitting around for no reason. Nothing out of the ordinary. It looks clear.
Well, I enter then. And I go to my books. I mean, I probably don't have time to do a full occult library roll, do I, at this point?
No, but you can bring with you the books that contain the information that is relevant to what you have learned so far about the situation that you are in. You have quite a vast library, but there's a few books that stand out as being extra relevant.
I go to pick up a key 3 or 4. I laugh as I say, I'm kind of building a little mini library in the back of your car at this point.
Yeah.
The question is it useful if I bring my car along now?
Sure. Could be useful for blending in, perhaps. Also, I go look at the window and is it still like just an open window that's shattered, or is something? Has someone been here, or?
No, it's still. There's a hole in the window. There's glass on the floor. You see the where the bullets impacted the wall. There doesn't seem to have been anyone here to check. Carver, you find Jenkins in the kitchen, sitting by the cupboard where you have the cat food. He looks at you.
How did you get up here?
His eyes are sort of begging.
Of course. I quickly pull out his bowl, pour the food in. I go, maybe I should take your bowl with you this time as well. Portable library and cat house.
You get what you need, and you leave the apartment behind. Do you get to your car now, or do you go together in the Mercedes?
I get to my own vehicle, picking up Jenkins and bringing him with me, even though part of me wonders if maybe I needed to pick him up and bring him with me. And I get in, and I feel a little more comfortable now I'm in my own vehicle. I'll even move some of the stuff we've been piling all into his Mercedes and put it in my car, so at least the space is a bit more organised.
So, Björn, where do you go now to arrange the items?
Well, the only, as far as I know, live contact that I have is in a club called the Banana Split Club.
Yes, in Ripperbahn.
I'm not sure that it'll be open and that he or she will even be there, but let's have a look.
And you find yourself back on Reeperbahn, the red light district of Hamburg, very early. Again, you seem to be visiting this district in the day instead of the night. But you still see the signs of where the neon would be. It smells like tobacco, spilled beer, and urine, like it always does. You passed Banana Split on your way to Kuniyoshi, the Japanese pub that you visited earlier. It's marked with a neon sign featuring an opened banana. Stairs go down into a basement. Who goes here now? Carver, will you join Björn, or are you sitting behind with the cars?
I'll keep an eye out outside.
Alright, so outside of the club then?
Yes.
So Björn, you walk down the stairs. There's a bouncer standing by the door. Nods as you approach.
I nod back.
The club consists of a bar and a large dance floor. It's quiet. There's a few people sitting by the bar. Probably people who spend most of their time here. There's low rock music playing. You're here looking for Anna. You used to know her as Albert before the transition. She was part of the Grom unit in Alpha Group. She took part in Operation Storm-333, the meanest of the mean. You quickly find her. She's tending bar. She nods to you. Hawk-Owl?
Buzzard.
She motions for you to come closer.
I come up to the bar.
Can I tell you a secret, Hawk-Owl?
course you can. I got plenty myself.
I know that you aren't on the list anymore, Hawkeye. You aren't supposed to be here. But, you know what? I'll make an exception. Everything is falling apart so quickly. Soon only blood will matter. We bled together, Hawkeye. You're my blood. So, tell me what you need and where, because I don't think this is a social visit.
This is true. Should we move to another location?
She takes you to a staff area behind the bar.
So, any visits from, our acquaintances recently?
Well, just the usual. There's still plenty of operations happening in spite of everything going on in the world right now. I keep busy.
Things will always be happening as long as something of the motherland remains. And I expect it always will. Do we have... I switch over now and I speak in Russian. Any word from close friends? Have you seen Finch recently?
I have not. He disappeared. It seems like they're looking for him. He is also off the list.
He is. Huh. You know, I kind of expected him to go back into service, but he must have gone underground. Well, good. I appreciate your service, Buzzard. I have gotten myself into a situation, as we do. And it's infiltration that's needed.
I see. Anything aside from the standard infiltration kit? Any extracurricular activities you have planned?
Do you actually have access to Uzis, basic? I know we don't use them in our standard kit, but...
Of course.
Good. Silencer?
Definitely. No other way to do it.
This would match the costumes of the guards, I think to myself. Aside from that, I'm gonna need another silenced pistol, something with minimal recoil, easy to use for the layman.
I have exactly what you need.
Good. Anything to set guard dogs off their tracks?
There are some chemicals that have been known to work. They should be able to get the dogs very interested in, well, wherever you put this.
Good. That as well, then. And I think we should be good to go. Wait, the costumes the guards have, they are wearing standard suits. They didn't seem armored. Is that something you have as well?
They were wearing suits, and you noticed underneath that they were wearing Kevlar vests.
Okay.
So to look completely like them, you are going to want Kevlar as well.
Yeah, and I could see other reasons for that being good too. Kevlar vests, suits, and we should be good to go.
Do you need a safe house?
Yes. Do you have anything currently active that's not being used?
Yes, I have a good one on Belsinger Street. You can head there, and I can contact you there afterwards also to provide you with, well, any additional needs you may have after this operation ends. But that will be it, Hawkeye. That will be it.
You're a solid rock, Buzzard. I knew I could count on you.
As you're about to go, she looks down. Hawkeye, I think about the palace every night. About what we did. About that little boy. Do you think we will ever be forgiven?
No. I don't think we will.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we play the campaign The Black Madonna for the tabletop role-playing game Kult Divinity Lost. The Black Madonna was originally constructed by Gunilla Jonsson and Mikael Petersen in 1991, with additional material for the 2017 edition by Marco Berman, Mattias Fredriksson, Petter Nallo and Robin Liljenberg. Kult Divinity Lost is published by Helmgast. The music was created by Atrium Carceri and is used with permission from their label Cryochamber. Visit cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel to hear more excellent dark ambient. A new episode of Red Moon Roleplaying is released every Friday. Please like our Facebook page and give us comments, input and feedback there. You can also visit us at redmoonroleplaying.com. Finally, a big thank you to all supporters. If you want to show your appreciation and encourage our work, look out for us on Patreon and see if you want to support the show there. While the show will always be free of charge to our listeners, Patreon supporters will have access to extra material, such as a bonus podcast where we answer your questions about the campaign and role-playing games in general. If you just can't wait, you can even get access to the full-length, raw and unedited versions of our gaming sessions way before they are released as finished episodes. Thanks for listening. Looking forward to meeting again next week.